As you know, we are on this journey. We've explored the perspective of science. We are exploring the faith and religion's perspective, and that's through the human structure. So these are the three referencing systems. After human structure, we are going to explore dogma perspective, and that is through the reality triangle. So we are now here, talking about the structure, the human structure. So we talked about truth being something that we can rely on, and truth comes not from thinking. So the moment you think about truth, you think about inner peace, but at peace, you sort of lost it. It's only when you go to the I know that I'm hearing. Yeah, when you go to the hearing, you know, the knowing of the hearing, the seeing, the saying, and the knowing. So that's a little bit of revision there. Then we looked at the general structure of the human structure, which is here on this model. And we looked at the 16 human character traits, which help us to identify sometimes when we fall off balance. Yeah, that it's our character traits that are working because of our greed and our ideation that is creating a meaning in us. Yeah, nothing else. We're just being very human at those moments. So we can just forgive ourselves very quickly and focus on what it is that we need to do so that we can get to the outcome that we want. And here's the function of the human character traits. There are 16. The 4 closest to the halo, to the balanced energy. Yeah. Oh, Annie's here. Welcome, Annie. Good to see you. So these are the things that, well, these are the 4 character traits that, but 3 mainly, 3 that are like store in, bring in information or out, as in to create your life. And they are affected by your greed and ideation of money, beauty, fame, eating, and sleeping, representations of certain areas of your needs, and therefore create this vibration of energy, and therefore affect the way we view the world or the way we experience the world. And so we looked at the vibrations. So important, these here, the vibrations, and therefore the vibrations affect the way the degree of our outer layer of human character traits. And so, like Auntie said the other day, that if we focus on the positive, perhaps then we don't have to worry about the energy being the low energy. Yeah, so we have Tanha here. Nice. Oh, Helen, nice to have you here, Helen. So Helen's also from the community that we come from, and today in our group they were talking about, sharing. So I said, I am sharing this, and Helen says, I want to jump on board. So welcome, Helen. And so right now we're just reviewing what we've covered in the human structure. So this one here is one of the I'd say one of the most important, because it explains how really in a very quick, in a very broad picture of what happens. It starts with our inner awareness, and that's why in the end it's our inner awareness which is what we can have control on. Our inner awareness create that vibration in us, that electromagnetic vibration inside us, which we have no control over in terms of our character traits. So we're talking about when we don't have that control over our character traits. So that vibration there will very quickly transform into the energy that you have, and therefore affects the way we experience the world. Yeah, experience the world. So then where does it come from? This inner awareness here that we recognize will help us to now use the tools that we have, use the knowledge that we know to come in and take over, to have that leadership of our own inner world. Remember the boss, that definition, which I haven't gone through yet. Where's that slide? Yeah, to be, so that we can have control of inner world, so that we can have more control of our external world. And these are, this is what we want to hold on to. Yeah, being able, so not hold on to be able to be the leader of, your inner world. These are the things we do, accept from our center, differentiate and analyze from our traits, and respond from our emotions. And how to do that? We must have our zero ego. Yeah, zero ego. And then this is what I was talking about before, is that ability to then being in control of our inner cognition, of our inner world, so that we can have the control of our external world. The 3 sources of energy. Yeah, we know that the blessings and the merits, those are the things we want to focus on. Making someone happy, making someone aware of their truth. And then we talk about the collective karma, which is a subconscious, which is so amazing. And if you missed out, bad luck on you. You need to watch it and watch it, because it explains a lot of the things that we don't have an explanation for. Yeah. So in terms of, why do we not like that person from the first moment we meet them? Or why do we like that person from the first moment we meet them? So these are we went through that. And if you want to know more, please watch that video of session 11. And we talk about merits and blessings. That's my draft, and that's the inner world. That's the commission. Okay, so today I will take this away and we'll start with our new. So does anyone, our new, what's going on here? There you go. Our new content. Anyone has anything to say, anything to add, anything to ask? Today we have actually from yesterday we have actually finished the human structure in terms of the elements of it. But today we've got two concepts that we need to, overcome or break the old thinking and see it in a different way, so that it completes our understanding of the human structure. And that is time, space, material, the 3 of them. So we're going to break the way we used to know them. What is material? What is time? What is space? We're going to break our understanding of it, the old way of knowing it. Yeah. So if we want to see life differently, if we want to craft it the way we want, then is it true that we must see things a little bit differently? Are you ready? Are you open to seeing time differently? Seeing space differently? Like space, look around your space and imagine we're going to see space very differently now. Very differently. I'm excited because I love it when I found out. Imagine, anyone here afraid of ghosts? Are you afraid of ghosts? No. Oh, well, Vinny is. Got one hand. Vinny's afraid of ghosts. All right. We're not talking about that. But it's just to experience space differently. Yeah. So let's look at, let's get your paper out and your texters and everything. Let's draw it. I am willing to stop to have a chat if you are willing to, if you'd like to have a chat, people. However, we can go on if you don't want to have a chat. If you just want to soak in with this, this information. So first of all, we're going to look at, we're going to break the concept of, I put time first, but we're going to break the concept of time, of space and material. So I'd like you to write the words space and material at the top. So what we're going to do, I'll show you what it looks like briefly. So I've done a draft of it in pencil. Something like this with cars at the bottom and eyes and space and material. So something like this, yeah? Or can I use it and I just go over it? Maybe I'll just go over it. So let's go with writing the word, two big words, space and material. Yeah. So we're going to explore these two concepts. Here's the other one. So I'm just going to trace over it. I think it'll be easier. And it'll be neater as well. Space. We can have a different experience of the world of life. We want to see things a little bit differently. Hey, what happened to, hang on, who's just popped in? No.
Me.
Okay. And see, I thought just popped in, but my camera won't let me. Now I can see. I can see your name, Anne. All right. So space And then we have material. I'm going to write another color of material. Yeah. Alice can draw. If Alice is there, Alice can draw. Alice can learn about the inner world. Yeah. So today, this is going to be our last session on the human structure, material. Yeah. What is your concept of space and material? Who can perhaps come unmute and then tell me what you know of space and material? What does it even mean to you? Yeah, what is space and what is material? What is space? Okay. Yeah, so Bim's like, yeah, so space. Yeah, space, to go out to space. It's just sort of air type thing, yeah. And then material is, yeah, it's like something you can touch. Yeah, you can count, you can measure, you can weigh. Yeah, you can see. I can see it, I can touch it. Yeah, so that's
air is still material, isn't it?
Is air material?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because it's a particles. Yeah. Okay, so then what is space? Yeah, space and material in a sense of how it affects our inner world. Yeah, so we're not going to get too technical because you will lose me. Yeah, it's just sort of like on the surface of what we know as space and material. Like there are two different. Yeah, so here's the material, around it is space. What is not. Yeah, so that's what in the end. All right, so then what we will look at, if you can, let's say, you know, so we've got protons and we've got basically, so if we have, let's just write here, I've got this word here, you know, molecules. Yeah, so a little bit of of physics and so a bit of science. And then elements. Yeah. So, you know, when we have, all right.
Do you want to push it a bit higher?
Can you see? Okay, yeah. So, yeah. So when we have an object, yeah, like this, it's here, yeah. But if I move it like this, did you catch it? Can you see it? Yeah. And then there's like this, yeah. So material, can you see how it's, can you catch it? There. I obviously flicked it, yeah, you can see it, right? But it went fast. So there's this notion of speed. You see this? Speed, yeah, that it becomes material or not material. Can you see that? Yeah, speed that makes it material or not material. Are you with me? I know Nancy's going to fall asleep on me like, Lena, you're going to do it. So I promise you, I don't know anything about science. I'm very bad. But I want to make, yeah, come with me on this as in, can you see how, so these are little, like the little dots, yeah, the little protons or the little, you know, molecules or elements that are moving. Yeah, are you with me? So in terms of material, that they are moving. So when they are moving, there are ones that are moving super fast. Yeah. So let's write down here super fast. So I just want to make that point. Then they become invisible. Can you see that? Oh, fast enough, not fast enough. But if I was moving it fast enough, right? If it's fast enough, you will see it as invisible. Yeah. So when it's super fast, it's invisible. And then when it's fast, and there's sometimes it's fast. Yeah, then it's sort of faint. You know, it's a shadowy, fast, faint, shadowy. And then when it's low, then it is visible to us. You with me? So the movements of these.
It's like watching the tennis.
Particles.
Easier to imagine.
Yeah, that's right. Tennis. Yeah. So Nancy's a sports head. So when we talk about, okay, so these are just moving particles. These are moving particles. So that's then gives us this notion of, so then the reason why I drew the car, can you see the cars here? I won't go over it. I don't think I'll go over it. red car. So you know when a car that's going with you, yeah, with the same direction, you can see them. But then when it's an opposite direction, especially if it's at night, you can hardly see them. Yeah. So then when we don't see those things, we call them space. Like they're just in space, you know, like you don't see them. So there are things that are moving really, really fast, such as, you know, the sound waves. Yeah. So you have your Wi-Fi. We all know them. So they exist, but we don't see them. So we call them space, but they exist. Are you with me? Yeah. So there's a point here that we want to make is that, in that frequency, when we are with it, so like the car moving, yeah, if we are moving with the car, so we're at the same speed, then we see each other as material. But then when we don't have that same frequency, that same speed, then we would see it as space, or they would see us as space, because we're not in the same speed. So the same with the frequency, so that the sound waves, it's the same, because we don't vibrate, or we don't have the same frequency, therefore we don't see each other. We don't see them as visible, but they exist. Am I okay? Am I okay with, so everyone's set with that, yeah? Okay, so then would it be fair to say then, when you match that frequency, yeah? So say now, one more example. Where's my black pen? All of a sudden I'm feeling, where's my black? Here we are. Okay, so let's draw this one. So say this is a table, right? An object to be observed is made up of all the little dots. Yeah, that's observed. That's the object to be observed. And so we can see this is space. Yeah. So whether it is an object or not is based on the observer, true or not? Yeah. Whether it's material or not is based on the observer's frequency with it. So you know how we had the observer as in it has no nature and we project on? It's a little bit like that in terms of how we vibrate. Is it helps us to whether to see it as material or not. You're with me up to here? Yeah. Okay. So then if we match it, yeah, so matching when it's, can you see here, material? When we match it, then it is material. Are you with me? When we match with the object that we are observing, yeah, then it material. Matching what? We're matching that vibrational frequency, that energy. Yeah. So here I'm going to write this nice and big. So this energy frequency here, energy. Oh, why did I write with this? It should be the other color. Never mind. Energy. That energy level, yeah, of the electromagnetic vibrational, whoopsie, frequency. So we want to think about space and, oopsie, that's a G. Space and material a little bit differently. Yeah, so we can see that, okay, so now if we match, if the observer and the object we are observing match in that frequency, then it now becomes material. So I'm going to write here matching vibrational frequency. Yeah, is on material side. Matching vibrational frequency. Yeah, so then what happens with space then? How do we describe it then? If material is when we match the frequency, then we can see it, then it becomes material. Then space is not matching. Yeah, non-matching. Vibrational frequency. That's it. So when we don't match it, then we don't see it. Then it becomes space. It becomes invisible to us. Are you with me? Yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to gauge here. Yeah, I can see. Yeah. So so where it is, it becomes space to us. It becomes space to us when we don't match the frequency with it. Now coming to our inner world and crafting our happiness and all of that. What does that even mean? So such as happiness, if we don't have it, is because our frequency is not with it. That's why we can't visualize, we can't see it, we can't materialize it. Yeah, this is why this piece of information here is crucial for us to be able to see, the reason why it doesn't exist, the reason why it's invisible to us, the reason why our kids our kids are not the relationship that we don't have, that we want to have with our kids aren't there, is because our frequency is not matching to what it needs to be for us to see it. This is why this human structure, the core of it is the vibrational frequency. And yesterday we talked about how to have that. Yeah, how to have that. So that was yesterday's session. So if you want to know, I would love for you to go back to yesterday's session. It's very, very important to see how we can have that. How we can have that energy, so that we can then move into what it is that we want in terms of the inner world, in terms of creating joy in our life, in terms of turning on the lights, which is coming. Yeah. Okay, so that's it with this space and material. Does anyone have anything to say, to discuss? Any questions? Does it change the perspective a little bit? Or does it or you've never thought about it, but it sort of makes it a bit clearer?
So you're saying that if it's matching the vibrational frequency, it's not material?
If you match it, then it becomes material.
If it's non-matching.
Yeah, if it's not matching, then it's invisible to you, because you can't see it. It's like it's too fast.
Oh, okay.
Why it's the reason why we see these things, is because we have that same vibrational frequency. That's why we see it. That's why we see the things we see.
Okay.
Examples, you say happy.
So those are intangible. Yeah.
So, object observed, that can be a person, yeah? Not a person.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a table with little dots.
Yeah.
That can be a person.
Yeah. Well, this one's like a ball. Yeah. Or a person. Yeah.
So
This one. Draw them down. This one. Yeah.
if that person is frequency, like they a bit moody or something wrong, then you can't pick up that frequency, then you don't know they're moody. Is that what you're saying? I'm a bit lost here.
But you mean bit lost in terms of picking it up in them?
Like what's the
what's the purpose of knowing this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So when we talk about crafting your world in terms of joy, knowing where it comes from, how do you create the things you want in your life in terms of, say, happiness, for example? Yeah. If we don't have, so for a person who doesn't believe in happiness, for example, is because they can't feel that it's possible. Are you with me? So in their world, happiness is not possible because it doesn't exist. It cannot, their frequency is so far away from it that they don't feel that it's possible. So whereas for a person who can have happiness, is because they feel they vibrate with it, and so they can create that happiness in their life. When we're talking about intangible values of things. So to understand this, we need to understand the differences between material and space. Space is non-existence, not visible. Material is visible, exist. So that we can materialize into our life. So in the end, we want to materialize, you know, happiness, joy, hope, what we said, happiness, yeah, joy, I said that. So just the intangible values, yeah, hope, those kind of things. We want to be able to materialize them. What is it that what makes you a hopeful person? How can you be a hopeful person if we don't know how, if we don't have that vibration with it? Then we cannot materialize it. Yeah, I think that's the purpose of this discussion here, in terms of, but let's just stay with me. Yeah, stay with me on the, when we observe, it depends on our vibration here. Yeah, and the observed object. It depends on our frequency. If we have the same frequency, it's material. If we don't have the same frequency, it's space. Doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Does that sit?
So what does that mean then, space? Not having it is space?
Space means you don't see it. Means we just don't see it. You don't connect with it. You don't see it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It's there, but because we are not consistent with it in vibration. That's why it becomes space. That's why I say to you, who's afraid of ghosts? Yeah, but this is not to talk about that. We're just talking about in terms of that it's a space. But it doesn't mean that the sound vibration isn't there. The sound waves aren't traveling through space. It doesn't mean that your what is it, your internet connection, all those, Wi-Fi waves aren't there. Yeah, and that's why when you're with a person who's very happy, you feel this energy, yeah, that comes through space, right? We call it space, but it's there. The vibration is there. That's why you can feel it, but it's not with you, because physically, our eyes, we just can't see it. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So that's, yeah. So that's that one, space and material. That's one we need to see differently so that we can really fully grasp this, I guess the where life comes from according to the human structure. How are we? Are we still here? Yeah, and so therefore material is not just seeing, weighing, or counting or touching, but it's also these three here. So if you can write the word material for me in the middle of your page like this. Let me see if I'm on the right page. I don't want to undo that. Material. I thought when I understand this, well, not I thought, when I really sat with this, it really helped me to say, all the things that I don't have in my life. I just have to, I know that it exists. Sometimes they say, the world is an infinite place of possibilities. Then therefore, if I haven't got it, it's a matter of, knowing that it's there and having the energy for it to bring into my world. So material is through feeling. We can feel that it's there. Yeah, so feeling it, feel that it's there, such as love, we feel that it's there, or recognizing. Yeah. So through us recognizing it, and then through us also seeing it, which we only rely on seeing most of the time. Yeah. But we want to think of material through 3 different ways that we can say our experience, we experience life and having these things in our life. Yeah, through feeling, recognizing, and seeing. Yeah. All right. And material is the matching energy level of level of the electromagnetic vibration. Frequency. Didn't sign up for physics class. Or again, it was a science class. Yeah. So that's material. And that's what it is. We are trying to create things in our life, bring it into the material world. Yeah, that's why this it sort of challenges our old way of thinking a little bit. All right, one more thing. Yeah, time. So space, material, now time. Time's an interesting one. Can we leave material yet? Material and space? Yeah, it's just whether we match or not. Doesn't mean that it's not there. We know that it's there. Yeah, we know now all our stuff is in the iCloud, whatever the iCloud is, right? So it's all there. It's all in. So it's all there. So that's all good. All right. Now let's go to time. How much time do we have? All right. So time is, okay, I'm going to do the breaking the concept of time. All right, let's do this one. Got 2 slides for time. Let's write time nice and big in the middle. I'm going to use this again. Blue for time. Time. Am I writing on top of the room page? Time. I just trust you to speak up if you want me to slow down, yeah? Time. Yep. So we have time. Now, time has 2 values. Oh, well, let's draw this craft here first. Can you see? Oh, is it a bit bent? All right. So here's our life. We come into this world and we did say, I think at the beginning of this journey, we talk about, you know, it's not how many years we live. It's the moments, it's when we realize something. So we come into the world lying down like this, you know, like this. And then we grow up. It affects our energy. There's our energy at this here. And then we grow older, we get stronger, really good, feeling great. Then we get I think that we talk about 30s or 40s now. I think this is what it is. And then after 40, we're like, oh, we're getting a bit older, losing our zest for life. That's some of us here. Sometimes I've heard us say, you know, we're getting older. And then we get older again. We shrink a little bit. And then we lie down just the same. Yeah, so it goes up and down like this. So that's the way we used to know time. And that's how we experience time. Yeah, we experience time. And so in a way, yeah, with this, we want to see ourselves as really strong, really, really, really well. And then we die. Yeah, isn't that better? If we're just like always healthy, really, really good, and then just die. Yeah, it's still part of, you know, life. But we're not saying that we have to live forever. but we will live. Yeah, but how about we think, well, we're happy, we're cheerful, we're always in our best zest of life here, and then okay, if we die, we die. Yeah, at whatever time. But in our traditional way of thinking, we get here and then we think that, oh yeah, we are older now, and so we think that we're slowed down now. And then how many, we've heard of people who retire. When they retire, and then they're like they lose their, their I guess their zest really quickly. Yeah. So then how do we want to challenge this way of thinking? So with time, we have past, present, and future. So let's write down past, present, and future. And future. Yep. Past, present, and future. And so with time, we have these two concepts, two concepts, I guess, that we want to explore. There's a feel of time. Yes, so our feelings of time. What happens when you feel really good? What happens when you love what you do? And then there's a value that we get. Can someone come on and help me with this? Like, what happens when you're having a lot of fun? What happens with time?
It goes faster.
It goes super fast, yeah. So with time, the feeling when you are dealing with time, when you feel high, it goes fast. Yeah, it goes fast. So this is time. When you feel high, when you feel good, with time, it goes fast. What happens when you feel low with time? When you go to school or when you're sitting here talking about, whoa, what's this, all this, time and space. Maybe not because you're relaxing and you're just letting it come in. All right, it's a bit confusing or whatever, just let it come in. That's not low. Yeah, you're maybe balanced. But if you have to, you have to remember those days when you have to go to school, not all that fun. I'm just trying to find a color that would use light green. Yeah, so when you feel low with time, this is low. Yeah, then it feels slow. Yeah, it feels slow. Yeah, so there's the time, and therefore, so when it's low, you feel slow. And of course, when it's low and you feel slow, it's low in value. Do you realize that? Do you also notice that in your life? When you feel low and the time goes low, you're very unproductive, even if you sat there for the whole hour. Are you with me? When you're doing your work, it's the same. You feel low, you're like, I don't want to do this work. You could sit there for an hour and you have a low value. Yeah, your value produced is low. Yeah, but of course, if you feel high, yeah, then the time feels fast. But would you agree with me that at those times you're like, wow, got a lot done? Yeah, you play a really, really good piece of music and you're loving it. The next thing you know, all the dishes are done. I know that's my son down there right now. As soon as we left and he has to wash the dishes, he'll turn on the TV. It's like, oh, because time goes fast for him. So he looks back and he's like, he's done all those things. But when, he's not allowed to use those, then time goes slow. So can we see now the concept of time is not how much time we have, because in terms of time, how we feel, what the value is then that's the essence of time, isn't it? Is how much do you get from your time, how you feel when you're doing it, not so much how long you have. So not the time as linear. So if you have so the time that you have, the value of the time is how much you get from it. Yeah, and how you feel when you are doing it. That then is time. Time is basically how high you feel, and what you produce, not to do with how long you have. Yeah. So that is to break the concept of time that we have in our mind, but to move into the notion of time is the value and the feelings we have, experiencing that part of our life. So that's time. Yeah. So the concept of time. Another slide. So many happy or sad faces here. Yeah. Okay. So breaking the concept of time. Let's write the definition for it first. So breaking the concept of time. It's rather quiet today. This is not fine. Can you see it? Are you writing it down? I will read it out. I'm just choosing my pen. I'm just very picky today. I don't know why I'm picky with my pens today. Okay, so breaking the concept of time. Can you see it? I will. Okay, we will go to the drawing to explain it in a moment. But here's breaking. Yeah, breaking the concept of time. So all that I explained will be explained in this definition. So I'll go through it. At its essence, well, I'll read it and then maybe I'll go through it, because if I write it, well, at its essence, time is the change of energy, of the energy level of the electromagnetic vibration. I must say, when I was going through this for the first time, I had to pause and take a break. So
This is hardcore.
this is, well, it's breaking what you used to know. And so therefore putting a new concept in with all very big concepts, time, space, and material all in one go of how much? 40 minutes. In order, so you're doing well, just relax, in order to experience the difference. Oh, sorry, the different positions in space. Oh, what is this? What does this even mean? Time is not set. I think that's the most important one for now. Time is not set. It depends on the choices. I think I'm going up high. This text of it is it's got this very strong scent of change, of on the choices of change of the electromagnetic vibrational.
It's the EMV short.
Yeah, which one? Vibrational frequency. Frequency energy. So everything is energy. I think that's the essence of it. If we don't, if this is too much, the frequency energy level of the observer. Okay, so at its essence, time is a change of the energy level of the electromagnetic vibrational frequency in order to experience the different positions in space. Time is not set. It depends on the choices of change of the electromagnetic vibrational frequency energy level of the observer. So this means we change the frequency in us in order to experience different time in space. Yeah. Okay, I'll let that set in. And here's the picture. Okay, let's draw this before you go to bed. Past, so we have time as past here. Present. I'm losing hair. And I said this is the last piece of that. Present, and then future, the last piece of the human structure. Yeah. So say here, in the past, you planted a seed. Going back to how we used to see this. In the past, you planted a seed. Now in the future, if that seed here, that seed in the past was a negative one, we had a negative outfall with someone, a seed that we planted wasn't good. Yeah, we did something that isn't good. All right, so we had a bad seed. Does it mean now in the present we must have a bad experience? That's likely, yeah, how it is. But now, because time, so past and present is time as we know it, that's linear. But now because we can see time and space, stay with me for this one because it's so important, yeah? Because time isn't linear, it's just our vibration. So we can choose to be at different space in time, yeah? So we can choose to be at wherever. That means we can choose to be in the past if we want to, based on our frequency. So here we are in the present, experiencing that seed of the past, experiencing that piece of the past. This is especially useful for people who are trying to change like healing. Yeah, if the past wasn't good and we want to change the past, we can. Yeah, we can through this. So we are here. We are experiencing this in the present. What we do is if we were to travel like that into the past, because it's just our vibration, yet time is not real, it's not set. If we travel like that into the past and change, we can from here experience this as if it's the past, change our frequency of that seed that we did, of the thing that happened that is negative, into balance. We just have to change it into a balanced energy. So here, I'm going to draw from balance onto positive balance here. I'm going to do this dot, dot, dot. I don't want to do the negative. So that there, which was, we experienced it with a negative vibration here. Yes, that's why it's this. It's a not desired, non-desired experience. Are you with me here? Anyone? Not? No, just frozen. Okay. So because of time, when we see it that way, when it's not set, we can travel to that experience that we did to that seed. Instead of feeling like this about it, if we can move our experience, our energy about it right in this present, change our experience, our energy about it. This is our electro vibration frequency energy level, yeah, into a balance level. So when we go back and we see that the seed with this energy level here, with a new energy level, we can turn that experience into positive or balance. it will no longer be negative. That seed does not have to come into life. And so that we can be in the future of that same seed. So what happens here is we just take the lesson, yeah, of that seed and turn it into balance. So we have the lesson into balance or into a positive experience. That is the lesson. We take the lesson. Yeah, we take the lesson from it and then turn it into this experience. Are you with me? So how do we turn it into, how do we change our vibration with it? Is taking the lesson. Taking the lesson. And of course, from the lesson, we will have gratitude, thankfulness, compassion, and therefore we will be vibrating in that, we will have balance or positive and turning the experience into a positive one. So say, for example, you have an outfall with someone. Say, for example, me, I had a big argument with my sister who is disowned me right now in this situation. Yeah, right now, in this present time. So right now that has become this. I can hold on to this and have more negative outcome in the future. Every time I think of her, she will be wrong, I will be right. Every time she thinks of me, she will be right, I will be wrong. Are you with me? So to turn that doesn't have to keep going. It does not have to keep going. It doesn't have to be the seed of the present and turn into more seeds, negative seeds in the future. Because I can stop it here. If I see it, take the lesson that I had in this moment, turn it into something that I can feel comfortable with in terms of being at peace with, which I go straight into thanking her, all the things that she's done for me, you know, not looking at right and wrong, true and false, good or bad. Let all that go. I go into balance. Be thankful. Take the lesson. What I did was wrong in terms of, understanding her, understanding me in those moments. I take all the lessons and I am thankful for the lesson. Not thankful for what I did. I would never ever do that again. Yeah, but thankful for the lesson. And therefore, now I can be happy with myself. I'm not happy with what happened. I'm happy with myself so I can keep moving. And from this place, I listen deeper. I hear what she needs. I know what needs to be done for that unity. I guess for that, for us to, for the reconnection. That will be my positive outcome. Does it sort of help bring flesh to this concept? So we don't have to keep it going. It stops with us. The negativity, whatever the seed is in the past, it was us in the past, it can stop with us. And from here, we can craft a new future. We can craft a new, it stops here. It doesn't have to be right or wrong, I'm right, you're right. All that right, wrong, true, false, good, bad, should or shouldn't, doesn't have to continue. And that is through this here, which I've written, respectfully grateful. Yeah, respectfully grateful. I'll write it in red. It's through, yeah, respectfully grateful. That looks really, really grateful. I will have to write this again. It looks very messy here, but you get me. All right. There we go. This looks messy. There you go. Okay. How's everyone with that? Does it bring, I thought that this is the most important piece of information for us in terms of, you know, recrafting our life wherever it was. It doesn't have to be where it was. It doesn't have to be, we don't have to live with what we've done. You know, we can from that take what we need, take the lesson and turn it into gold. We can turn it right around. It doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be, oh, I have to pay for my stupidity. You don't have to pay for your stupidity. You don't have to pay for the past. You don't have to live with the consequences. We can just simply turn that energy by really believing in, first of all, material and time. That's all. Yeah, that is time. It needs to start from there for you to then be able to do this. We say this, and I think I can feel it that you do understand this concept. But how it can be done has to come from here. has to come from here. The concept of time is just not linear. It's just feeling and value. Yeah, and material is your vibration with it. If you have that vibration with it, it can come into life. So right now, my sister's not talking to me, but I know that it can be materialized as long as I have the energy that I can tap into it. Whatever that is, wherever it will come from, you will find out as we go along this journey. You know, we still have another, I don't know, nine more sessions. Yeah, which I can share with you how it can happen. So I don't have to sit here and feel bad and, you know, feel regret and feel bad about myself and hating myself for doing the wrong thing because